Hi everyone, today we will see how we can work with the GitHub workflow actions using Playwright, and it's very easy and pretty straightforward. Let's see how we can set up it from scratch. So I don't want to make it more complicated. I'll try to make it very easier for you so that you can also easily set up and run a GitHub action workflow in your local mission. And also it's more often like a CI/CD pipeline, right? So just we just have to configure the GitHub action um, workflows for the project, and those we can run it in GitHub, like similar to CI/CD. And this is also one more option to set up. So let's see now how it will work. So these are the prerequisites we have to follow in order to set up Playwright project along with the GitHub workflow actions. So the prerequisites are we need to install the Node.js, and we need to install the Git in local machine, as well as we have to sign it from VS Code. So I'm using VS Code as an integrated development environment. So in your case, ID could be anything based on your preference, but I prefer VS Code to work with Playwright because VS Code is having more feasibility towards Playwright. It has a lot of plugins to work with. And these are the steps, only 4 steps we have to follow in order to create a GitHub workflows, so that we can publish the project on GitHub, and then we can run the scripts on the pipeline. So basically that's why, so we need to publish the project to GitHub. That's why I have added a prerequisite, as we have to install and set up the Git in our local machine. So in your case, if you don't know how to do this, you can look after any resources available in the internet. That would be fine. So it's very simple to set up these two. You can go through any online stuff you want. So let's see now. I'll try to create a sample project. Let me create a sample project. Name could be anything, project name could be anything, it's up to you. Open it, and open this project in command prompt. To do that, we have to click on address bar and type cmd. This is a shortcut. We can open this project location directly in the command prompt. And now I want to open this project in VS Code. We can continue creating Playwright setup here also, but if I'll try to show you in the VS Code so that you can be in line with IDE along with the Playwright setup. So in order to open VS Code, just type this command code dot. We have to install VS Code to make this command work. So just type code space dot and click enter, and it will open up this workspace in VS Code. So in my case I'm using Windows, so open terminal. So in 2 ways we can open terminal. Here you can see 3 dots, you can click here and you can click here in the terminal option, and the new terminal. In this way you can open, or you can click Ctrl J. In that way also we can open. So first step is we have to install Playwright, right? So this is the first we have to do. So let's install Playwright npm init Playwright at latest. I'm installing latest version. In your case, you want to install any specific version, remove this latest part and mention the version number, so it will install that specific version that you want. So just type enter. So it will ask you for some project setup. How do you want to set up your project, and which programming language you want to use, where do you want to maintain your tests and all. So in my case, I'm going with the TypeScript because we're not going to code much, so anything would be fine. So I'm selecting TypeScript. And where do you want to put your tests, right? So this you can change, but what I recommend is leave it as default and click enter. And this is the option we need to remember: GitHub, add a GitHub action workflows, right? This is the third option. Sorry, this is the second option that we would want to add. So while installing itself, they are giving in feasibility to add a workflow option. So for that we have to turn this as flag as true. For that you have to click Y. Y means yes. it's true. So what will happen when you click Y? So it will create one file, YAML file with a syntax. So with a minimum sample example syntax. So I will show you in a moment once the setup is done. And it is asking to install browsers or not. Give it as yes. Again click Y, and then it will initialize the project, and it will take some time based on the network. It will set up the project, and it will install all the artifacts required for the project. Yeah, so once Playwright is installed successfully, you will get this message, happy hacking. It means Playwright installed successfully. So now we have installed Playwright successfully, right? So now what we have to do, we have to execute a sample script. By default, Playwright will give you some example spec.ts. So now currently we are focusing on GitHub workflow actions, right? So as I said, when, let me tell you, so where we have turned this flag as true, do you remember earlier? So what will happen when you turn this flag as true? This folder will get created, and some workflow. This is just a pipeline syntax as we do it in a Jenkins. For GitHub has its own YAML code to build and run the scripts. So it's not necessary that you have to make this flag as true to create this YAML file, Playwright YAML file. You can manually also, you can configure this by creating these folders and the code. So but this is the easiest way that you can quickly configure, I believe. So either way you can follow, and it will create one YAML file, right? Which branch we have to pick up, on what basis we have to run the code. Every pipeline syntax has some stages, even if it's Azure DevOps, Jenkins, or it's a GitHub action workflow. So we just have to understand the stages, what stage what exactly is happening, right? So you don't need to sit and learn all the syntax of this YAML right now. So you just try to understand, and you can even look research using ChatGPT or DeepSeek. So you can, if you don't find the syntax available in your project, just ask ChatGPT or DeepSeek that provide me a YAML syntax for to execute GitHub workflow actions using Playwright project. Then it will give you some syntax. Just copy paste it, and just change this option based on the preference, based on the project, the work you are doing. So we just have to understand the steps here. This is the title of the pipeline, and this is something that on every push and on every pull request, take the code from main or master and then automatically trigger. This we can customize. We can even right now by default it has given the code to execute scripts automatically whenever there is a pull request and whenever there is a push happen to this master or main. This we can even put a cron job as well. You can research on that, but as of now I am leaving it as default. And this is a job configuration. Under the job, again we will be having a test configuration. By default timeout will be a 60 seconds. We know Playwright by default provides a 60 seconds of a timeout, and runs on Ubuntu. On which platform you want to run, this tells you that which environment the scripts are going to run. So it's not necessary that you have to use Ubuntu. Example, you can use Windows as well. For that you just have to change this Ubuntu to Windows. Just copy, paste, and just change this to Windows. If it's a Mac OS, just change it to Mac OS. That's it. And these are the steps before running the tests. Normally before running the tests, there are some prerequisites we have to run, right? So these scripts are going to run in a Windows or a Ubuntu platform. So there the setup Node.js setup might not be available. That's why we need to do some prerequisites. These are the steps, prerequisite steps that we have to follow, and we have to guide by using ML code that install first, set up this prerequisite, then run the Playwright scripts. So you can simply understand by looking into this. So it is just checking out to the branch and setting up the node version with along with the version, and it is installing some dependencies. The name is always referring to the stage. Here installing dependencies means this is the title of this stage, and this is a command, this is an action that GitHub action workflow is going to perform. npm CI is with clean install. Do not get confused between clean install and npm install. Both are similar, but I recommend you to use npm CI when it comes to pipeline. So now this is a name. Again, this is again one more stage saying that install Playwright browsers. These stages and all once the pipeline has been triggered, right? So that I will let you know what is this titles, where this title is useful and all. So focus on run commands as of now. So these are the npx commands to install the browsers, and these are the npx commands to run the tests in the pipeline. So rest it will leave default. It will at the end it will generate the artifact reports, and retention days is 30 days. It means you can mention it as 1 day also if you have no proper subscription, but leave it as default. This is a sample project, we can leave it as default as of now. This is a pipeline syntax. This is how we have to understand the pipeline syntax. You don't need to learn about this. At least we should have an answer on that, what exactly happening in the pipeline syntax, so that in future we can even search it in any LLM models available in the market, and we can get the information and we can set up according to our project, right? So now what we have to do, the next step what we have to do, we have to publish a project to GitHub. For that, what we have to do, in VS Code we have a source control option. Just click on it. So again it will ask you to publish to GitHub repository option. So it will ask you whether we want to publish or initialize the repository, existing repository. We want to go with a publish to GitHub. So we want to publish this entire new repository to GitHub, right? So in my case I am getting this option because I have already logged in. So in your case you may get a login script. So log in with your own GitHub account and then click on publish to GitHub. Then you will get an option to the respective account which you logged in. Then click on OK. It will publish the project to GitHub. So once you publish a repository, it will give you a notification that successfully published the so and so framework, so and so project to a GitHub. So it means the project is now there in the GitHub remote. So normally I recommend you to use GitHub action flow plugin. If you go to a plugins here and if you search for GitHub Actions, see there is a plugin. This you have to install, and then once you install that plugin, the option will be this GitHub action option will be available here. So we can manage pipelines from here as well, or else even if you go to the repository, GitHub and repositories, see this is a folder we published to GitHub repository. If you open this and if you go to GitHub Actions, this is the first commit we made. So what we made, we completely pushed our project to GitHub repository, and syntax says, by default syntax says push or pull request happen. Whenever there is a push or pull request happen, just merge the code and then perform testing. It means perform pipeline execution. That's what it is. So if you open this, you can clearly see all the information. If you click on the first commit, just a minute, what happened? click on a first commit, you can see uh, the entry, the pipeline entry in the GitHub Actions. If you click on this entry, you can see all the information, what exactly it is running and all. See that the pipeline has been completed successfully. So these are the names. I said it in the while explaining, I have shown you, right? These are the stages: set up a job, right, and then install dependencies. If you open the respective, this is a command which was ran under this section. So similarly you can find, so this with the help of that names we can clearly understand what's exactly happened in the pipeline, right? So similarly you can see all the run playwright test and artifacts. So if you go to artifacts, if you elaborate artifacts, now even you can download artifact, right? So if you click on this URL, artifacts will be downloaded, and then if you go to downloads and extract this, and if you open this index file, see all the tests are passed. So this is how exactly the pipeline will work in a GitHub, right? So not only here, so for example, you no need to come and verify the pipeline execution each and every time. So VS Code has, again, as I said, there is a plugin available for this. Just install it, and what will happen every time, like, right, so whenever you initialize first time this GitHub Actions and sign into GitHub, sometimes what will happen is VS Code or this plugin could not able to recognize the initialized Git account, Git account of VS Code, like whatever the account we sign in right here. So sometimes it could not able to detect. So what we have to do in that case, we have to reload this window. So to reload window, I am using Windows. So for that I am using Ctrl Shift P as a shortcut to run a command. So just type Ctrl Shift P and type reload, and there is a window option. So what will happen when you reload a window, it will reload entire this workspace. So whatever, if there is any cache issues or if there is any API issues to communicate with plugins or extensions, it will get resolved. If I reload Windows now, so if you see, it is refreshing. So it is asking unable to connect to GitHub API, please see. So the issue is automatically it's get resolved. So you can see the playwrights which are executed in the past, and you can see the working flows. Currently there are no working flows. So and you can see you can even find the report from here also. You can see all the stages. You can click on you can check the specific stage logs. If you click here, it will directly open up the web browser, and you can see the logs here as well. In that way also we can see. So for the real-time scenario, I'll try to push one sample example code, so that you can get a clear idea how exactly the pipeline works, right? So I'll simply do one sample commit under test. I will simply go to example spectator.ts. So I'm not coding much in this, because this video is about to understand how GitHub workflow actions works. So that's why. So by default, the Playwright will provide some tests after setup. So just go to that spec file, example spec file, and just I'm trying to log as passed. That's it. I'm saving it, and now go to source control. Here the option is available here. Just click on here and then add it to stage, and then commit with anything you want. So I want to log this, right? So just a log message, like just a log message in exam spec, and then I would want to commit. So whenever you commit, the code will be in local. So now we want to send this to remote. For that we have to click on sync changes. So sync changes, then it will ask you, we want to really sync the changes with a master or a main. Just to click on OK. So what will happen, it will sync local changes with master, and it will pull the latest code. Once it will pull the latest code as per the YAML syntax set up for the pipeline execution, it will work. See, if you refresh it, if you see, these are the running, this is the second job we are running currently once the commit has completed, right? So even if you go to website, GitHub website, and see just a log message in an example spec, right? So whenever there is a commit, it will auto trigger and it will test the quality of the web application. So it's not necessary that we need to make it as automatic. So here there is a, we can customize this configuration as well, just explore on ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever in Google. Just check how to customize this option based on your project. So as simple as that. So this is how we need to configure GitHub workflow actions. That's it for this video, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.